What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this Saturday, this nice Shabbat. Well, it's done for right now. We only can look forward to the next praise day, which we should be praising every day anyway, but it's just that the Shabbat is about a day of rest with praise. You understand? Before we get into this story right here, well, actually it's a commercial, but before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to my dear sister, Hobby Money, and thank her so much for the promotion that she has given James and Joan Thomas, channel. And for those of you that are not familiar with Hobby Money, I suggest that you go and subscribe to her channel. She gives out very, very good information as to overcome as far as making good money and hobbies and all that kind of stuff, with being able to make money, you know what I'm saying, from something you like doing. What better information can you get, doing that, doing something, you getting paid for something you like to do. This is what she does, and that's a beautiful thing. We need that. You understand? Thank you so much, dear Hobby Money, my sister, and much love. Now, this commercial that I'm going to show you guys, you may have already seen it, but let me just tell you this, ADOS, my people, you understand? They are sending their token niggas. Their token niggas. You see, as you can see up in the upper left-hand corner right here, it says, why I don't want and don't deserve reparations. Y'all check this shit out, and then I'm going to briefly speak thereafter. It's a damn shame. This is what keeps the enemy up. You understand? On the backs of stupid-ass sellout lowlifes that's supposed to be of us, but are not really of us. They may be by skin, but not in spirit. Check this out.
My great-great-grandfather, Silas Burgess, came to America, shackled in the belly of a slave ship. He was sold on an auction block in Charleston, South Carolina, to the Burgess plantation. Orphaned by age 8, he was fortunately surrounded by elder slaves who, though physically chained, mentally envisioned themselves as free men. They escaped, taking young Silas with them, making their way to West Texas. Silas worked hard and saved his money. Eventually, he became the owner of 102 acres of farmland, which he cultivated and paid off within 2 years. I proudly carry the name of my first American ancestor, who, like millions of others drawn or brought to our country, struggled past overwhelming obstacles to live the American dream. Silas founded the first black church, the first black elementary school in this town. He was a Republican, a Christian, and a pillar of his community. He was proud and industrious and taught his children to be the same. Now, because great-great-grandpa Silas was once a slave, so-called progressives want to give me money. Never mind that, like him, I'm an entrepreneur who received an excellent education, built businesses, raised a remarkable family, and unlike most white Americans, earned a Super Bowl ring. Because of work I've never done, stripes I've never had, under whip I've never known, these progressives want to give me money I've never earned. The fact that this money will be forcibly taken from others who also dreamed, worked, and sacrificed for it, I'm told is not my concern, but it is. At the core of the reparations movement is a distorted and demeaning view of blacks and whites. It grants superiority to the white race, treating them as an oppressive people too powerful for black Americans to overcome. It brands blacks as hapless victims, devoid of the ability which every other culture possesses to assimilate and to progress. The reparations movement conveniently forgets the 150 years of legal, social, and economic progress obtained by millions of American minorities. It also minimizes the sacrifice of hundreds of thousands of white Americans and a Republican president who gave their lives to eradicate slavery. I think Grandpa Silas would have seen this loss of American lives as payment in full. Every grateful black American, then and now, will feel the same. The reparations movement also reinforces a view of racial relationships that undermines America's Judeo-Christian foundation. It defies the ideals of forgiveness and second chances and scorns individual accountability. Proponents of reparations believe that Black Americans are incapable of carrying their own burdens, while white Americans must bear the sins of those who came before them. Proponents do not take into account the majority of white Americans who never owned slaves, who fought to end slavery, or who came to America long after it was ended. This divisive message marks a Black race as forever broken, a people whose healing can only come through the guilt, pity, and benevolence of whites. Tragically, we now see this playing out on our college campuses, as young white Americans acknowledge their skin color as a privilege. Young Black Americans, with no apparent shame, accept their skin color as one that automatically confers victim status. In doing so, they seem unaware that this perception of Blacks was shared by the 1960s Southern white supremacists of my youth. Those who seek reparations have accepted the theory that skin color alone is capable of making one race superior to the other, that with no additional effort, values, or personal initiative, white Americans will succeed while Black Americans will fail. At its very core, this represents the condescending evil of racism. It certainly does not represent Black America's potential. 40% of Black households today live the middle-class American dream. There are thousands of Black Americans among our nation's top 1% of income earners. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, and professors, not to mention music, TV, film, and sports stars. Many of our society's most revered and celebrated citizens are Black. The journeys of these Americans to wealth and prominence vary, like those of their white counterparts, but many benefited from having ancestors like Grandpa Salas, who embraced the opportunities their country provided and who left behind a legacy of proud, productive, patriotic, and successful families. Why should white Americans, my neighbors, friends, and fellow citizens, owe me anything? If Grandpa Salas were here, I'm certain his message to everyone, whether Black or white, would simply be this: good character cannot be bought by bribery. I'm Burgess Owens for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To help
as far as I'm going to go with it, you understand, look, this Prager Owens, you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't understand how you can get on here and make a commercial like this to swindle Black people here in this country to not go for what's owed to them. You understand? You are disgusting. You are actually a cancer to our people as it is, to the whole body, even to your grandfather. You don't speak for him. You don't know exactly what he endured. You don't know exactly what he thought. You just up here riding for your master. Talking about some, they want to give us money or whatever, you know, out of guilt or whatever that shit you said. No, they don't. That's why they stood your dumb ass up here. See, it's on your, I'm telling you, on the backs of low-life sellouts like yourself. You are the foundation of the so-called white supremacy. You are the whole foundation of that house. You should be ashamed of yourself, and I hope you hear my video. I hope you see my video based off this bullshit you just got up here and said. You don't want the rest of the Black movement, the people, to have the same thing that your grandfather accomplished. However way he did it in that time. My grandfather and my great uncle bought a lot of land too. However way that all happened worked out. See, it was because at that point in time, that was somewhat of, I don't know how it happened, where it was an accommodation. But now they're swooping in and they want to take all that land back. That was actually not given, but, you know, was able to our people to buy back in the deep South. And it's lowlifes like you that's aiding them to do it. I don't care about your fine speech, college education, whatever, in your suit and clean cut hair. You understand what I mean? You a lowlife, man. You a sellout. You sold, it was your type that aided to get us in the bondage that we are to this day. All the way back from early biblical times. Your kind. I don't know how you sleep at night, boy. Straight up. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Although I can imagine. I can imagine. You understand? I'm interested in hearing y'all thoughts and views and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this is James. And remember, always to live your life as though we are being watched, because we are. Prager. I'm out. Peace.